of the diary. It's a Thursday. It is the 25th of November 2021. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm really excited and I've begun counting the days on my fingertips. And I know that next Friday we will be converging, we will be meeting, we'll be assembling at the Kumasi City Mall for this year's edition of the Love FM, Insure FM, DBS Habitat Fair. I don't know about you, but I'm hoping that you are really excited, looking forward to this event, that you're pumped up and you've started jotting down the kind of items that you're looking for, the things that you want to buy. Now, for some time now, on the diary, we have shared with you a lot of information, things that hitherto you wouldn't have gotten anywhere. We've shared all that information with you, plus visuals. So those of you who have followed us from day one when we began the building process on radio, I'm sure that you've gained a lot of knowledge, you've gained a lot of information as to what is required, what is needed if you want to put up a house. Now that you have that information, and the Habitat Fair is also just around the corner, we just hope and pray that you draw, you make a list of things that you'll be looking out for, so that when you join us for the 3-day fair at the Kumasi City Mall, you'll be able to buy things that you need. And again, you get to engage with the people who matter when it comes to the housing industry or the housing business. So we've done a lot of talk about how to start, where to start from, the materials you might look for, whether to buy or to build. We've done a lot of conversations, and we're about wrapping up on the building process. We're just about wrapping up on it. So today we want to look at the exterior works that are done, when everything is said and done, works that are done outside the main house, but within the premises, on the compound. And they're quite a lot. But we've decided to focus attention on 3 of them this afternoon. So for those of you who are inching closer to the completion of your project or the building, we want to bring to you a few things that has to do with external works that you have to pay attention to and get it right. Listen, there are people who, for whatever reason, have had their affluence on main roads. I know of people who have built septic tanks and then they pour it onto main roads. And when you raise concerns, but there are ways of putting these tanks together such that you are safe, your neighbors are safe, and the environment itself is safe. Again, there are people who have completed their houses, and instead of putting up a soakaway, so that, for example, when they wash in the kitchen, the utensils or stuff like that, it will get into the soakaway, the water gets soaked, it doesn't overflow. They don't do that. They look for a pipe, and they put it on the main road. So from their house, through a punched hole area in the wall, then they put a pipe there, and then don't do that. Don't do that. And then you get to some homes, nice house, but there's nothing really exciting, there's nothing really natural, there's nothing really attractive about the compound. The structure, the building itself is nice, but the landscaping is bad, it's poor. So today, these are the 3 key things we want to talk about in terms of the building. And for those of you who have minds to build, stay with us again and get to jot down notes, jot down points, make use of them when you get to that area of your building. We're live on Facebook. It's LUV 99.5 FM. So call a friend to tell a relation that, listen, we're talking housing. And the man whom we refer to as our ambassador, like Hirasus is, he himself is also an ambassador. I'm also an ambassador to the Love FM Habitat Fair. We're doing this together. So join us on LUV 99.5 FM on Facebook. Frank Abajide Nyansa is with me. My brother, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dave.
And how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Let me say a very big good afternoon to all Akuetteh. I think our guys.
Tomorrow is a D-Day, eh?
No, yeah. So our guys did fantastic
you guys are out,
yesterday, and I think that they need to be applauded. personally, I wasn't really happy about the arrangements anyway. I mean,
if you're good, you're
good. But
if you're good, no matter where you find yourself,
I'm talking about the arrangements, the orderly arrangements.
If you're good, you're good.
When KNUST comes before Prempeh College, and every bonus point goes to Prempeh College.
Oh, please.
Until it gets to us, I mean, it would have already been answered. So you see, so next time they should do the parent well, so that it wouldn't be like
if that will give
a
you guys
weaker side is rather getting it wrong and I mean,
if that will give you guys comfort,
you agree to my point.
If that will give you guys comfort,
yes, I mean, obviously you cannot arrange in such a way that somebody will be scoring bonuses.
We are going to talk.
Yes, so let's move on.
But if that is going to give you comfort,
so you say you are talking housing. Why are you explaining?
It's going to give you solace and comfort.
No, but
all well and
there
good.
should be fairness, you know.
All well and good. So Prempeh in the final, Presec in the final,
I think in the final. It will be super.
Which school are you rooting for?
No, Prempeh College, of course. I want it to remain in. I mean, host and win. It should come to Ashanti region.
It will be the 5th time. If they should win tomorrow, it will be the 5th time.
I'm all for our good. We support them, you see. But when we meet, I mean, we are straightforward. We are rivals.
You're a gentleman. You're a gentleman.
They know.
Arise and shine.
Charlie, let's talk housing. Erasmus, I don't know about you, but if I tell you the number of lecturers, if I tell you the number of people who have gotten in touch with me,
yes,
who are eager to be a part of the Love FM, Insure FM, DBS Habitat Fair, it will blow your mind. You know, I live in a new area, a new site.
Yeah.
And once it's a new site, from people who are looking for bricks, or pavement blocks, to people who are looking for bathroom stuff, or people who are looking for paints. I mean, you name it, they have asked me questions. And the key question they keep asking, because they are ready to go to town to go and buy.
Yeah.
But they're holding on because we are saying that it's to join us on Friday through to Sunday next week.
And there will be discounts.
And that there will be discounts.
Yeah.
And the quality will not be compromised.
Yes.
I have told them my bit that, listen, discounts avail. You are an ambassador as well.
Yes.
What would you want to say to each and every person who wants to be there and is wondering whether indeed there's going to be some discounts?
In fact, there's going to be discounts. And already some of them have started with the discounts as well. I know of Africa, they've started with some discounts. I know of DBS, they've started a Bosu Free, which comes with some discounts. And you get 5 additional, so I think about 15% discount on DBS products.
So for those of you who want chandeliers to buy, if you want chandeliers to buy,
chandeliers 50%
off, yes, 50%
even as we
discount.
speak. Africa Company Limited. When you go to Ahojo, you will get up to 50% discount.
Yeah.
So it's even started right now before we even get to the fair. So they should rest assured. They should come around from the 3rd to the 5th. There are discounts.
So you have begun your project. How is it feeling like when you get to site and you realize that,
David, the feeling is enormous. In fact, when you get, even when you are able to do the foundation works. When I did the foundation works and I went, to inspect, I could sit there like 3 hours. I don't even feel the sun. Yeah, me for plans. And, a lot of things flow through your mind on how you want to progress with that particular building, and it's super. It's fantastic. It gives you that security that in life you've also done something. So to be able to buy a land itself, even when the land was there, I could go there, check whether the land was there, as if I can police the land. But it's a good feeling, and Abuaji will tell you, every stage of the building, it gives you some relief. That
wait until the day you are moving in.
Yes, do you know one key phrase that comes to my mind? It tells me something. So
when I was saying that he should wait till he's moving in, or wait till you've moved in the very first day and you're going to bed and you hit your bed.
Yeah.
The feeling.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
And that's a dear now. Sorry for passing.
Yeah.
So I don't blame people when they want to organize some parties when they are moving in, because
it's the housewarming.
Yes, it has to be something that
it's a great
memorable.
And that is why we at Multimedia came up with this idea, because we know that that's the ultimate goal of every person on earth, that at least I'll be able to do some 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom for my family to, stay in there. So we just want you to come around, share ideas, be able to ask questions, and see whether that dream is too far away.
Even if you don't have the
closer
dream,
than you think.
Even if you don't have the dream, you just take a stroll through the stands. You'll be surprised that you come across somebody who will tell you, let's say, oh, Charlie, you're only, 32 years old or 33 years old, you have a stable job. Listen, you can buy a parcel of land or buy a piece. And then you might think, no, I'm not ready yet. Then let the person talk to you. Listen. With an open mind, and when you do,
and I tell you, the purchase of the land did not come to me in a dream. My HR, Ama Benewa, yes, was the one who pushed the idea deep down my throat. And every day she will meet me at the frontage there and tell me, have you thought about the land? Have you thought about buying the land? Consistently until I bought the land.
Even now, she's still pushing people to buy land.
Yes, and it's a great thing.
Oh, no more stuff on to be.
It's a great thing.
But it's motivating you guys.
No, but it's good. That's what you need in life.
That's what you are supposed to do.
That's what you need in life.
The senior colleagues are supposed to push for.
Oh, but Erasmus will attest to that. Most of the young guys here will tell you what I do. I tell them two
things. And that has been my vision all this while, to get the youth to know.
He is an organizer.
That they are buying.
And I tell you, when he thinks that you deserve something in your life, he'll keep pushing it till you do it.
That's the only thing I can do to help. That's the only thing I can do.
It's a fantastic
thing.
So,
Erasmus, I'm counting the years for you. I pray that yours will not be as mine. But now I'm okay. But my percent, that will be now. If you read this, so you've heard that.
That was a dream of a friend of mine, Jacob Sarkodie, who used to write for Network Health. He's now in Germany.
Okay.
He used to tell me, Charlie, only one can say brother number top fridge ketwe bi menya wine bi egum sa round I was say wine glass a round one bi no na me ba ko ahye me santam sa na red one wom na me sa ba ko na mafuru so
no sit down where they
and he did it before
he left but I'm saying so sit down so ben come where they
that is a great feeling.
but let's go on to Facebook right now. Listeners, join us because we're now getting into the main conversation for today. And like I said, we're looking at the external works. Erasmus is here with us. He's one of our ambassadors. Now, before we even go in detail to tell our listeners about what we really want to be doing and show them the visuals on Facebook, Erasmus, you've done a lot. You know, when we're doing this, keep Kumasi clean. You went to places where people had their affluences on main roads.
Yes.
You went to places where people had their soca ways, going onto main roads.
Very disturbing.
So just let people in on what are some of the things you saw and how much of an eyesore it was.
And you see, it's not stopped. When you go to the Ayeduase area, some hostels around there are still doing it. It's a very bad practice. And in this day and age, and when you come to the fair, again, you get to see the different types of technology when it comes to sewage. People have developed new ways. Once that you will not even entire the septic tank, like bring a vehicle to
evacuate what's in there. We'll show you videos of them.
You do it, and it goes for a certain period, provided that you only put organic materials in there and not the tissue and other things. Stuff, it will stay there forever, and you don't need to entire it. Go for a vehicle to entire the septic tank. So there are
but there's another one that has maggots in there of a sort, and the maggots feed on the waste.
That's what they do. In fact, they have bacteria, many types, and that's what they do. They put certain things in there before they put the bacteria, and then they cover it for you. And no matter the number of people who stay in the house, you will keep that thing going forever.
For those who don't know about it, we're going to show you all of those things and more.
But seriously, that is why I'm recommending for all the hostels that have been dumping their sewage in the open environment. They should go for that.
Okay. So let's jump straight into our conversation. Kate, are you ready? Let's start with the landscaping. Okay. And I was saying that, there are some places when you go to Erasmus, new sites.
Yeah.
We see Danny, come on. Danny sounds Danny fair. But out here compound, I say, and empty. And you can tell that there's something missing. There's something absent. And you look closely and you realize that there's nothing natural about the place. no flowers, no, nothing.
Yeah.
And it hits you that, listen, landscaping is very important when it comes to building. So, Frank, you are here. And, okay, so this is a look. This is Ghana. Yeah. The structure itself, what we're showing you with the balustrades, the color of the painting, the windows, and I like the glass, how big it is and all that. And the person has attempted some kind of landscape work, which of course is very important. Yeah. So, Frank, first of all, before we talk and describe, what we're saying, what does the landscaping really do for such properties?
Well, the key thing is it adds some beauty to it, that the aesthetics of the property. And the other one too, the natural feel of you trying to get some nature feel within your compound. And I've always advocated that I think that it's a bad habit if you concrete or pave or cover your whole compound without any flora and fauna. Flora and fauna is about the flowers or the trees or some plants within your area. You can do some backyard garden where you would have some vegetables or plantain planted, and then the frontage part, you could have some flowers, designed one, either the hedges.
Oh, I like this one.
So, either the hedges or the green grass within the area. Just allow some rainwater, few of them, to seep through your compound and then go naturally into the earth rather than running on your compound onto the outside of your fence wall. I think it's a bad.
And talking about trees, which of course is also very key and very important. It serves as wind
breaks, depending on the ones you put up. Though, because most of the time when you are preparing your site and you go and you have naturally grown trees around it, it will be advisable not to cut them down. That is how we design our estates. So we leave some of the already grown ones just to protect the houses around the estate. So it would be advisable that before you start, or when you are going to clear, which one, the first one, the site clearing, it would be advisable you don't cut everything down and get a flat surface before. But if you don't have it, then you can start planting some of the trees at vantage points, even before the foundation. So that by the time your building is done, you would have those trees growing up to a sizable size. You understand? And that would be good as serving as windbreaks.
I'm sure Erasmus, you cut down every tree on your land. Uprooted the ones that you felt were even a nuisance. You could
see mine is just a one. It doesn't have trees.
But Frank, is it also possible that many don't consider the landscaping, especially the flowers and the trees, because they think that it is work? Listen, I have a couple of them, at home, and during the dry season, when the leaves dry up and they fall, if you don't have time, you will realize actually now I say why you think.
Yeah, so the positioning matters.
Okay.
So I would use like I said. So now let's use something like this.
So let's look at this one for example.
Of course. So you see
let's I'll plead with you. Join us on Facebook. We're talking about the landscape right now. So join us on Facebook. LUV 99.5. Please. Thank you.
The one leading to the entrance is the hedges.
Yeah.
Okay, those ones, when you leave them, they overgrow. So with time, about every month, you can cut them to size like it is. Then the other one is the normal green grass, or the grass that needs to be cut with time. So I'm sure you are talking about will be the tree, which is likely to shed its leaves in the dry season. Yeah. And I don't think that will be a problem, looking at how he has put gravels around.
If the wind blows, trust me, if the wind blows, the thing is dry, the wind blows.
This particular building doesn't have a fence wall. You understand?
From what we're seeing,
yes,
it could have, but from
which angle? Because the hedge is also on the other side, and
it could be. But if you look at the structure on your right,
most of the
it's beyond the hedges, so it could be
in the Western world. They don't fancy fence walls
outside the country. Yes,
so most of them have such one. It's an open space compound,
yeah,
and naturally, leaves will get rotten on the ground. You understand? So in your house, unless you have a paved side or probably have the veranda where the wind will blow these leaves onto the veranda, then you can sweep them.
But even the
compound, if you have grasses where the leaves fall, there's no need for you to worry yourself to go and brush them off.
If it falls on the grass, sometimes it doesn't really look.
Which side? Because it depends. That's why I said it depends on the type of tree, because if you have the bigger one, obviously you'll be cleaning.
So okay, let's take us back to the very first picture you showed, and let's run our listeners and viewers through it. And for those of you who have made time to join us on Facebook, we're grateful to you. We say thank you very much. We're starting with the landscaping, and this one has a fence wall.
Yes, now, and there are no big or tall trees to shed leaves.
But there's a tree there.
This outside the fence wall.
It is not. The one on your left.
Which one?
Where the lighting system is. Where the light
small one.
No, where at the end,
it looks more like a guava. I think it's a fruit. You see, those ones do not cause nuisance. You understand? But the ones that do not bear fruits and always be, we don't advise.
But one thing I'm surprised
and we have the horticulture people to advise the right type of plant for your compound. And those ones, they don't really shed. You see the one like the Christmas tree, I've forgotten the name. Then the coconut flower, that one is also there. It doesn't really shed leaves. It doesn't even give bigger roots to disturb the building. So this is appropriate.
And from the look of what we're seeing on Facebook right now, the person doesn't have too much of land available. Unlike some people.
I don't know of their back.
But from where we're seated, and from where we're seated and what we're looking at, but the person has at least been able to make use of
some small space
for landscaping. And this is very important. So even when they sit around the corridor area, the veranda area, for example, and you see the green around, I'm sure that with time when the Christmas tree there grows bigger,
you can design them, you can just shape them, you can put some lights on it during Christmas if you want. But you see, it all adds to it. I believe that because if I tell you how much I spend on landscaping alone in a month, you would say, why am I wasting? You would think I'm wasting money.
To me or to somebody else?
To someone listening, yes, because they are the ones we are talking to. But I believe that when you come and see what I've done, even from the outside of my wall, that coconut plant is alone it's nice.
And this is also a very local one, local flowers and all that. And I like the work done.
Okay.
I like the work done. I mean, the person has gravels in there
with a bit of concrete,
with a concrete way, and then there, of course the green is there as well. And if you look at the flower pot,
so they
well shaped.
So this one in 2 weeks to a month it would grow. You need to reshape. So that is what we don't do. So we leave it and it overgrows, then it wouldn't be nice again. But when you appreciate nature, you'd always be shaping your plants. I
remember some time ago somebody was knocking on my gate. I stepped out of the gate, and you know what the person wanted?
No.
Wanted
a place to sit?
No. So continue. What do you think? Guess.
No.
Picture.
Okay.
So the greenery.
They just want to come and have some photo shoot. It's nice when you design them.
So it's good and it's nice, and yes, it might.
So we are not saying that don't pave your compound or don't use rough terrazzo, because my place I have rough terrazzo, but with the greenings at the sides of the fence wall as it's done, beneath the fence wall. Then I have some U-shaped kind of design in front of the veranda. So when I stand there, I could see those ones. And yes, I mean, every month it's cleared.
This person is using gravels for a beautiful design.
Yes,
but would you say it's advisable to have flowers in between the small stones there, the gravels?
It would definitely grow. I don't know if it is at the early stages, but I don't know the type of plant that they've planted. But if it was that of the green grass, it would definitely grow to overcome or cover the gravels or the design stones. But the greenings we are seeing is not what we are advising. I want to see a compound with more greens than the stones and paved compound.
Okay, so what it is that outside the country, they believe in a lot of greens, like you're saying.
Yes.
Here in Ghana, we want to make use of every little space. And you say, so we make use of every space.
Let's appreciate nature.
Indeed.
Yes, because the harm we are causing to our environment these days is as a result of everybody trying to secure their compound by paving every place.
This is more like an outside the country a landscape
kind of
work
design,
and this is beautiful, especially when you look at where they have the furniture, where they have the furniture out there, and you look at the compound, it's a well designed. If you live in such a place, and I don't think this is a residence.
No, it looks more like a guest house setting or probably a hotel.
But again, somebody could have this in his home.
The swimming pool. That's the reason why they have the the furniture there. You can relax, sit in, and just watch.
But someone can still have this in his
or
her home.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean,
someone can have it in his or her home.
Possible.
And I like the fact that they're maintaining the lawn, they're maintaining the greenery.
Yeah.
So it's been cut well to shape. Listen, please join us on Facebook. Listen, you haven't gotten there yet, but have a look at what we're showing you. When you get to that stage, you'd also have ideas as to what you can go for. All right, it's very important. So join us on Facebook.
So these days, people would want to prevent the same maintenance problem.
Yeah.
Constant weeding, so they are going for the artificial grass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that one, they come in different forms, which I've seen. There's a company in Turkey who is into that.
Yeah, so this is nice, isn't
it? So you see the grass and you think this is natural. But our people here would want the same thing, but don't want to maintain it by weeding. So they'll go for the artificial grass. And I wouldn't advise that though, because I feel that the one that has the silicone fiber in it is the one that is ideal, because when it rains, it can still seep into the ground. But I always go for the natural one, which would give back to you.
And it has this nice
oxygen.
Smell. It has even a nice smell.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The smell you're talking about in scientific term is the oxygen.
It gives you such nice smell, especially when it's cut fresh. And if you look at this picture that we're showing you, and this is definitely not Ghana, but they have maintained the flowers, they've maintained the grass, and it gives color to the building.
The stone cladding finish. I think the person appreciates nature, and for that matter, instead of painting, they are using the stone cladding for the
wall work,
the wall itself, and the grass and the plants. Like I said, there are plants that suits buildings and residential setting. So just talk to the horticulture people, and you get the right type of plant for your compound.
All right, so listeners and viewers, stay with us. I mean, for you who is listening to us, join us on Facebook and get to appreciate what we're showing you. Even if you're living in a rented apartment, if there is space, make sure that you have a very well, structured landscape done. It adds color to the whole house. I mean, this is also very nice, isn't it? Very nice. Very, very nice. I mean, I don't know. I think I've gone past this stage.
So you see in calculation, the green area takes enough space compared to the paved area. And I always say that is the best form of landscaping that you should go for.
So if you stay with us on Facebook, we have more to show you. But for want of time, let's move on to our next area of conversation. And the next one is going to be the septic tanks or the sewage system.
Yeah, the sewage system.
Let's talk about the sewage system. And again, there are different types that are available now. So I am one from number three. This time around, there are different types available. Ones that are even available where you wouldn't need a tank to come and evacuate or move, the contents of the tank. You are into real estate. You're into building and all that. What are some of the current ones that are available?
So from what we already know,
and again on Facebook we're showing you a few things that are available.
From what we already know, I mean the 3-chamber septic tank is the old one that you need to dig a big, we call the manhole, and then separate them into 3 chambers, and then you'd have the wastewater, then as well as the one from the solid waste and the liquid waste together. Then you have the biodigester, which also is a modern type of septic, of which there are two to it. The one that you apply chemical, and the one that you use is it the enzymes or the bacteria to feed on it, and then it doesn't also get full. So what we are trying to do is to cut down on spending on maintaining these septic tanks, and that is why people are now going for the biodigester.
And even when the waste,
you still need to scoop the waste out.
When the waste is removed, where to take it to? The dump sites are becoming a problem now.
Of course.
They're becoming a problem now. So when we go modding, it helps in many, many, many ways.
Yes, but what I've also realized is that even with the biodigester, when the liquid is separated from the solid, with the few commercial facilities that are visited, they still need to scoop the solid waste out and dispose of
but it doesn't have as much water.
Yes, it doesn't have water. It separates the water. It kicks.
Yes.
Okay, it kicks. And when it kicks, they scoop it out, and then they could use it. I mean, when dried, could be used as fertilizer though.
Or maybe
so depending on where I think currently in Ashanti region we have about 3 or 4 dumping sites where most of them do the recycling. There are the one, the old OT landfill site at Akuetteh area. Then I think that there's another one at Amount for him area where Zoom Lion and Co. So I mean, you can engage them once you get a proper biodigester done, or maybe you are going for the old septic tank. Then with time, you know where to put your waste, and there are companies around to also assist.
And if you look at what this guy is doing, definitely it's not going to be the old type.
No, this is the biodigester.
It's the biodigester that the person is putting. It's a very simple.
Yeah, that one is simple.
Very simple. Work
it takes a
being
longer time to fill up or probably get to where it is. But no matter how, like if somebody tells you that you
that's the finished work, complete
you
work,
will not get the waste out at all. Trust me, it's a lie. Okay, it takes time. Even with the normal 3-chamber, years you will not have. You depend on the number of people using the facility or the washrooms within the house. So there are some that are really ideal for commercial facilities, and I like the hostels.
I like the work this guy is doing. He's making the whole thing look so easy.
Yes, I mean,
and so simple.
Construction, that's the way it is.
Simple. and yet we don't want to follow some of these things. Very simple work he's doing. And Emma Uncle Bokabe say every 2 years, and I say every 3 years.
Yeah.
But how close should the septic tank be from? How far should it be from the normal water source? We talked about water source yesterday.
Oh, this is the soakaway, right?
Yeah, this is the soakaway. Okay. This is the soakaway that's been done.
For the liquid waste from the...
We'll talk about the soakaway shortly. But for those who are listening to us and we're doing the sewage works, how close or how far should it be away from the water source? Or be too well? So
they should be at 2 distant sides of the building. You understand? So you have your compound and the water is on the right. The extreme opposite on the left should be that of the septic tank. Not too close to each other. I mean, just a bit far away. You can use the fence wall to measure. So if you have about, say, 70 by 70, the 70 from the first point, the next will be at the 70 at the other point. So by 70 meters away, if you have the 100 feet away, that is where the position should be.
And for those
so we'll come to the soakaway.
For those of you who are worried about space, you know that if you're doing the old type of sewage, it takes a lot of space.
Yes.
Because of the 3-chamber and all that. Yes. But if you look at what we're showing you on Facebook right now, and listen, if you're a landlord or a landlady, or you're putting up your own house, go check it out for yourself. This is a simple biodigester that has been put up. Very simple one. And it's not big.
No.
But although it's not big, it's going to serve the household many years before you say you're emptying.
Yeah, so it also depends on the usage. So so you have a 3-bedroom house, you'd have a specific size to go for. Even if you have a 3-bedroom house and the number of people in the house exceed a certain number,
the size will differ.
Yes. So people are complaining because maybe the house in which they were in some years ago, they were not discharging waste, but these days, because of the number, they frequently discharge waste and they think it's a problem to them. But they've forgotten that when they were putting up the building, there were
only a few.
Exactly.
Now there are many. And a lot of people also.
And these days, the plastic, what do you call them? The tank manufacturing companies, plastic tank manufacturing, I don't want to mention names, have new models of these septic tanks for sale. So then you dig the hole and just place the tank in there, and the tank has already been divided into chambers already, which is also easier. I've seen some of them; they look nice.
So like this,
yes,
like this,
what we are seeing now.
Okay,
you understand?
Join us on Facebook and get to see what we're talking about.
Yeah, so like what we are seeing, and this is so all you need to do is just do the hole and then drop in the tank, and that's it. So the tank, as you see there, has chambers in it divided already, and it will separate the solid waste from the liquid waste.
Yeah. And so what will
the advantage with this
what will the liquid waste go to?
Come again?
The liquid waste, where would it go to?
No, they have holes that seep into it.
So it gets into the ground?
Yes.
It gets into the ground. Yes, it gets into the ground.
It will be covered.
But the human waste itself stays in the chambers.
In there till the time that you would want to go and discharge them. Yes.
So come and engage with people who have knowledge about these things during the 3-day fair at the Kumasi City Mall. Wow.
So the reason that this one saves the environment.
Yeah, and even space.
Yeah, so going green. So they feel that, okay, then there's no way. So if it's concrete, you'd have certain percentage of ratio that the water, the solid waste water will still seep into the ground. Now with this one, it stays in there.
And there's more we're showing you.
Yeah,
more
that's
of them we're showing you.
Yeah,
and in this day and age, there are people who call on these guys who have the tanks to come in.
So let's advise the hostels, those around KUST. They are my colleagues. Look, Erastus and Co did a good job by exposing your bad deeds, because channeling wastewater from your hostel into the river bodies around Eduase is a bad habit. We can assist you. The money that you are getting from these students, let's do proper thing for them. So come to the fair and we will advise you better.
And again, I was trying to put across, Frank, that sometimes when you call on the tanks to come and, remove the waste.
Yeah.
I'm as I say, I am one training in one training in my training in no, but now tank be woman that has been I'm training in a message just because I can run this and then they argue. To do away with all those arguments, say what training someone training so because 3 times, so 4 times. So when you do this,
the
biodigester serves you longer years
before,
and even when you have to discharge is done. We say kit we say
of course.
So you save money as well.
Yeah, you save money.
Let's talk about the soakaways.
Yeah.
And before we talk about the soakaway, I'd like to go on a break. And when we return, we'll talk about the soakaways. But listen, listeners, please stay with us on Facebook, because we're going to go back and start showing you one more time the landscape works that are available, so you can have a fair idea as to what you can do for yourself. I mean, even if you've rented an apartment somewhere, you can still do something, either a space on the compound, put up some natural greens and all that. It gives a lot of refreshment to the house and of course to yourself. And we would also be showing you these waste sewage systems that are available. But when we return from this break, we'll be talking about the soakaways. Please stay with us. This is Love 99.5.
Mami money ejuma. Udanya ye fe.
on Friday the 3rd to the 5th of December, that's going to be a Sunday, next Friday to Sunday, at the Kumasi City Mall, we're bringing to you this year's edition of the Love FM, Insure FM, DBS Habitat Fair. It's everything housing. Everything you think a house needs, everything will be available for you. So make time and pass through. Now, the exciting thing about the Friday, the 3rd, is the fact that it's going to be a holiday. It's going to be a Farmer's Day, so it's going to be a holiday. The Saturday and the Sunday are already weekends, so you don't have any excuse, you don't have any reason not to be there. So 3rd, 4th, 5th, be with us. Today we're talking about the external works that ought to be done, and we're taking you through the sewage work. Some of you call it the... Okay, don't let me spoil your lunch. So the sewage work, we're talking about that. We've also talked about the landscaping. One other thing that we haven't spent time to talk about has to do with the soakaway. Now, the soakaway, as I know it to be, should be such that it is not too big, unlike the sewage tanks or chambers, but it should not overflow. But there are unfortunate incidents or situations where some people have contracted people to help them put up the soakaways. It is done for them, and then within a couple of months, it's overflowing. And so we want to tell you about the soakaway. Which part of the house should it be? Because we've already told you where to place the. If, for example, if you have your own water source at home, you have dug your well, or you have the mechanized boreholes done, we've told you where to place them on the compound in your home. We've also told you where to put your sewage also. Which area of the house will the soakaway be? And again, if you join us on Facebook, we have pictures and visuals to show you, just to support the conversation we're having. And so, Frank, which part of the house should we have the soakaway?
So, mostly depending the part that descends.
Slopes, that's a slope a bit.
Slopes, yes, slopes a bit. That is where it's mostly ideal.
Okay, so this is a very simple one that has been done.
Yeah.
Work is still ongoing though, but I like the work that has been done. Very, very neat work. Very neat work.
Sure. And then once you'll be dealing with pipes from all sides of
the house.
And
so you have chambers.
So the washroom area comes out, the kitchen area comes out. They all meet at certain chambers before it is directed into the soakaway. So the problem we mostly get is the kitchen, the wastewater from the kitchen. It mostly comes with some oil stuffy, and it blocks most of the time. So depending on how consistent you treat it, or probably flush it with hot water, then you'll be free from that. But that is the problem that mostly occurs. When that blockage comes to the end of the tip of the PVC pipe that goes into the soakaway, you would have a challenge. You understand? And it would force all the water from the other parts of the house, that is the washroom water, to still stay back, and then creates problem for you. So then you would think that your soakaway is blocked or is not functioning very well. So ideally, it is always advisable that after preparation of food in the kitchen, you just decide to flush your PVC pipe or your taps with hot water, just to get the oily things out of it.
Prevent them from choking the
also
pipes.
Try to also put that's why we mostly have the net at the tip where the water goes into.
And then for me, the net doesn't work that well.
There are other types.
The other types that are available.
The plastic ones.
So what I prefer is to look for a colander.
Yeah.
So when you have a colander and you think that there are some particles in a plate or any cooking pot, so you wash and rinse it in the colander before you go to wash the main plates and the main bowls and
the other one is the
running water.
The taps within the compound where mostly you wash the car and stuff like we create outside taps. So those outside taps, we mostly forget and thinking that because it's outside the house, anything you wash would go. So you find out that mostly when there's a blockade and we visit the house, you would find sachet water packs, poly bags and stuff stuck in there. And they also create problems for the soakaway. But ideally, the soakaway is to get all the wastewater from the house to seep into the ground without you getting any problem. So if there are few blockades, then that is when you engage the plumber to assist.
And so that's why you have chambers. And if you get a very good plumber who does a very good plumbing work for you, he or she, some of them are females, so only majority of them are males.
Most of them.
Yeah, but when they come, they can tell which chamber they need to tackle the problem from. So they will know which of the chambers to tackle to get the blockade out.
So some time back, we were doing the open gutter thing, which was helping. But these days, we still feel that you need to cover your compound, get every waste place covered. Then they introduced the bigger PVC pipe. So with the PVC pipe, they also come with joints which can open and close. So you could still service it when there is a blockade. So when you go, just seek for the right one to use and you'll be advised on.
But Frank, the soakaway is not supposed to get full, is it?
No.
It's never supposed to get full.
No.
Because I realize that some people put stones on the ground. So others put, what do you call it, the covert. I mean, those, what's the name?
Which one?
Those run thing. I've forgotten the name right now. It was on my mind a while ago. I'll recall it and I'll mention it. You know, and so what will make those ones on the left? What's the name?
Yeah, it's the covert.
The covert, fine. Okay, yeah. So I mentioned correctly then. So let's do this. Some of them put stones on the ground. Some of them put these covers and arrange them from bottom up. So that they soak the water and all that. So if that is done and the soakaway is never soaked,
the covers are supposed to get some holes on it that the water would seep into the ground.
So the question I really want to ask is that if that is done, how come some of the soakaways get full and overflow?
You see, so it depends on the ground where you did it. Okay, I've already mentioned earlier in our discussion when we were talking about the mechanized borehole that because of the arrangement of the rocks naturally, the sediments, if there are certain depths you go that you hit rocks. So if you don't do it in such a way that the water can freely move into the soil and your place is more rocky, you are likely to face such a problem because gradually, instead of the water going away, it would hit some rocks and still be compiling and getting full.
So if it needs to get into the ground and go away,
you can run a test
why
on your compound.
So why do they put the concrete in there, put stones in there then?
No, because they feel that if they don't want it to get stuffy. Because when it goes into the ground without these barriers, obviously it would end up turning clay. You understand? There would be more water and then the place will become a bit moist. So it would not be advisable. And it will get to a point when you walk around that area, you feel that the ground is really not, it's more waterlogged. It's turning into a waterlogged area. So what they mostly do is to just use the concrete to gag it after the water has seeped. It does not come back into the chamber. And that is why they mostly go for the covers, which is with concrete.
Again, one thing that I have noticed, Frank, has to do with the fact that there are people who have space on their compounds, but would rather want to put up the soakaways outside their compound. Sometimes even to the road, where when you're driving, you realize you can see them glaringly. I'm like, what is this?
You see, we've had problems with the development setting of our communities. If the government or the state had already done the road with gutters, then you'd know that every household can channel their wastewater, not the liquid waste, through into the gutters, then it flows to join the main gutter outside. But because we don't have that, people who want to play smart, what they are doing is illegal. Look, if you have your fence wall and you know the size of your area, there's no need you going outside your plot and doing a soakaway outside your land or your barrier. It's wrong. You understand? So because wherever you put it, it's somebody's also terrain, and the person can take you on legally. So if you are facing that challenge, you can come to us. We would advise you and talk to the district assembly. They will call the person to order because you can't do a soakaway in the middle of the road. It's illegal.
I have seen quite a number of them.
Yeah, so you design it in such a way that it has to be on your compound. And if you think that those who did it earlier have done bad work for you, come to the Habitat Fair. You get experts to do a very good job for you.
What about those who will not dig outside and create space like this with the covering, but they dig their road and then put in pipes, long pipes, and they make sure that there's pipes.
I've seen several of them around KNUST area, and that was what I was talking about.
And Akuetteh area.
Yes, and they dig
area.
like 100 meters to the river body just to get their wastewater out.
You know,
yes, I've seen it. That and the hostels are corporates. They are. I've told you, they are my people, and they are doing it.
These are soakaways we're talking about.
Yes,
soakaway water.
Yes, they do the soakaway and do that of the septic too. The same thing because they don't want it to stay. Or mostly, they've exhausted their space on their compound, and they are now trying to create nuisance by directing it into another person's compound.
And you know what? They can buy as many as 40.
Yeah, they can buy the pipes. The pipes. They do it.
PVC pipes.
Yeah.
And they dig long,
like I said,
distance.
Some run about 100 meters. I've seen them.
Or more than 100 meters.
Yes.
I'm saying they are same crazy.
Yeah, to the river that is passing or a big gutter just to get it off. But I say that it's a design failure. You should have done all these things within your compound. And because where we are now, we don't have a collection or a sewage system for every community. If we had that, there could have been a planning for just sewage system. And one I can talk about is the Saglemi housing, okay, which has 5,000 housing units in Ningo, okay, and the whole estate or unit doesn't have a sewage system. You understand? So where were they trying to put this wastewater from the various houses or various apartments? Obviously, it would go into the road or flow on the compound, which is ideal. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. So if you have a challenge with your sewage system, with your soakaway system, just come to the fair. Would advise you and assist you with experts.
Emmanuel Dami on Facebook says, wow, you guys are so excellent. Ofusu Frimpong also is on Facebook, says, thanks, David, for the program. We shall, go. We all go build some. And then Mansour Ahmed says, thanks for the program. We'll be there, inshallah. Star Voice says chippings. I don't know what he means by chippings. Well, maybe if
I think it's the gravel. Some people put chippings on their compound as well, just to beautify the compound. Yeah. So depending on how you want it, then it's also good.
So I don't know which other area, maybe decor. We haven't talked about decor, and we haven't talked about some lighting system on the compound. I know people who have started putting, Christmas lights on their Christmas trees.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of things that we haven't talked about yet. Yeah. But listen, we've done a lot of talk so far since last week. The days, we're counting them on our fingertips now. We have roughly some 8 or so days to go. Yeah. Join us at the Kumasi City Mall for the Love FM, Insure FM, DBS Habitat Fair. It's on the 3rd to the 5th of December. Like I said, it's at the Kumasi City Mall. It's everything housing.
Yeah,
everything housing. Even if you're a carpenter and you build furniture, come. You're part of this event.
Yesterday, I think I got a question I forgot to, on the water source. I wanted to also advise on rainwater harvesting.
Okay.
That, yes, you don't have the money to do these ones aside the one from public mains, which is the Ghana water. What you can do is that when we are about entering the rainy season, just try and get rain gutters at the tip of your roof. Then get some PVC pipe to channel the rain gutters into a reservoir or a bigger tank so that when you need them, you can use them. These days,
how well will they serve you for how long? And if it's not raining?
It comes. No, but you and I know, even within this year, it has rained more. And even up to now, we are in November.
Because of the climate change.
So
and
definitely,
all that.
there are all types of sources that you can do. So that with time, or even build an underground tank and put the building on the tank. And I've said that there's only one school here in Ghana, in Ashanti region, that has that, and that is Opoku High School. Every house, has an underground reservoir that stores the rainwater from the roof, so that when there's no water in the school, we use those waters to clean and wash and all that. You can do that in your various houses. And it means that you are harvesting rain. And if you lack those ideas, you can come to the fair. We can assist you on that.
Okay. So this is where we draw the curtain on today's edition of The Diary. Thank you very much for your time. God willing, we'll meet again tomorrow morning on Love in the Morning. But for now, we'll be crossing over to BBC to bring to you some BBC news. After the BBC news, then